Since 2016, Valve has encouraged a culture of openness for VR games on Steam, officially known as steamvr. That means most PC VR headsets can run most Steam VR games. In this video I will show you some best Steam VR games. But before we start this video, please subscribe to my channel Games Puff and press the bell icon for more gaming videos. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is HalfLife Alyx. Well over a decade on, Valve's legendary shooter series returns in fine form for VR headsets. Set between the events of Half-Life 1 and 2, Alyx casts you as its titular character. Alyx Vance sets out on an adventure that takes her across the iconic setting of City 17. What might seem an experimental spin-off quickly establishes itself as an essential chapter in the series' canon. Half-Life Alyx might not feature the sandbox physics of Boneworks or a crowbar to mash headcrabs with, but what it lacks in innovation it more than makes up for in unprecedented production value and design, the likes of which we've not seen in VR. Next up we have The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. We would have never pegged a game based upon The Walking Dead to carry some of the best design and user interaction you'll find in VR, but Saints and Sinners delivers all that and then some. This sets the bar for VR zombie games with Boneworks-style, physics-based combat that has you wrestling with hordes of undead, throwing every ounce of effort you can into every swing and stab. But this isn't just a wave-based survival game, though it has that too, or silly sandbox. Next up we have Superhot VR. Superhot is, without a doubt, the most instantly rewarding game to play in VR. The flat-screen original was great, but by bringing your whole body into this groundbreaking shooter, the developer completely flips the game on its head. In Superhot, stop me if you've heard this before, time moves only when you do. That means that when you're still, the world around you is too. Every time you raise your arm or duck your head, the world crawls into life. You're essentially a human video playback device. Next up we have Skyrim VR. It turns out that the Skyrim of VR is, well, Skyrim in VR. There are definitely some awkward quirks to Bethesda's port of its ever-popular fantasy RPG, but we were more than willing to put them to the back of our minds as we explored Tamriel like never before. With hundreds of hours worth of content, full autonomy to make the kind of character you want, and an enormous world to explore, Skyrim VR is the closest we've come to fulfilling every adventurer's dreams, outside of taking an arrow to the knee. Number 5 we have Star Wars Squadrons. Who says VR can't make your dreams come true? Well, whoever they are, they haven't sampled Star Wars Squadrons' stunning VR support, which puts players in the cockpit of X-Wings, TIE fighters and other iconic ships, and lets them duke it out in either multiplayer battles or a full single-player campaign. Squadrons is fun to play on a flat screen, but, in VR, it quickly morphs into one of the most exciting and immersive experiences you can have today. Next up we have Boneworks. If you want to see how far VR design has come since 2016, look no further than Boneworks. Stress Level Zero's third VR game might not have the most masterfully designed of shooter campaigns, but its physics-based combat sandbox is a true marvel to behold. In this virtual reality shooter, every object, from broomsticks to bin lids, can be picked up and wielded as a weapon. Every item has a physical presence in the world, meaning you can hook crowbars to edges and then climb up them or nudge doors open with the end of a gun. Next up we have a Fisherman's Tail. As great as VR is, its initial novelty is bound to wear off after your first few weeks or so. If you want to recapture the magic of putting on the headset for the first time, though, there's one destination that's bound to deliver: A Fisherman's Tail. This is a mind-bending puzzle game unlike anything you'll see elsewhere. That alone makes it one of the best Steam VR games. In A Fisherman's Tail, you solve intricate, scale-based puzzles in which you work with yourself. Next up we have Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip may be the new kid on the block, but, for our money, its sharpshooting, sharp-sounding, beat-based gameplay proves to be even more hypnotic than Beat Saber. In this neon-lit shooter, you stream down corridors, blasting bad guys to grisly tunes, avoiding incoming fire and trying to rack up the best scores. Pistol Whip's key is to take influence, not just from the VR sales king but also Superhot and, most prominently, John Wick. Whereas Beat Saber wants to make you a dancing GD master, Pistol Whip aims to teach you gun fu with style, elegantly fusing the rhythmic and cinematic together into a pulsating, vibrant monster of its own. Number 9 we have No Man's Sky VR. No Man's Sky promised to bring its entire universe of billions of procedurally generated planets connected by unending oceans of space that can be explored by yourself or with friends all into VR. It's had a few technical hiccups, but you can't deny it delivered on that hugely ambitious premise. You can lose endless hours here journeying to the top of mountains, scouting below the oceans, and duking it out in spaceship battles. Not to mention the continued wealth of free updates and even more impressive new features. The last game of this video is Paper Beast. Another world creator Eric Chahi is back with a similarly transformative VR adventure. In Paper Beast, you immerse yourself in a virtual ecosystem consisting of digital animals born into a breathing world you can reach out and feel. What follows is a magical safari ride through an impossible universe, complete with some of VR's most natural puzzles. What makes Paper Beast really sing, though, is just how believable its menagerie of animals is in VR. Interactions with them are seamless and natural, and each makes a dent, sometimes literally, in the surrounding world. So that's the list of 10 best Steam VR games that you can play in 2021. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel Games Puff, and press the bell icon for more gaming updates.